Hey Joe, I just wanted to shoot you a quick video and go over some things that we talked about the other day when we were doing some Indian clubs on the beach. To refresh your memory, I think you'll find this very handy. So when you start using your Indian clubs, usually they're on the ground, right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna backswing them slightly, pull them up in front of our face, and then pull them right down in front of us like this. This is called the ready position. So you also wanna make sure that your hands are always in the right place. So you want your ring finger pressed against the top of the pommel, and then your pinky wrapped around the front of it like this. So when you're looking at someone holding clubs, like you looking at me right now, you shouldn't be able to see the pommel. So I always urge people to practice in front of mirrors and in front of reflective glass windows when they first start using Indian clubs, so they can always check their hand position. So if you see the pommel starting to appear, you know that you have to adjust your hands and get them back to here, okay? So from the ready position, we then go into what's called the Y position, which is right above our head like this. Now this is usually the starting position for all drills. We want to make sure our arms are straight and in line with our ears or pushed back as far as we can, and we always want to work in the frontal plane, which is right here. So if there's an imaginary line being drawn here, this is the frontal plane. So we're going to go over heart shapes. So we come up like this, and then we're going to cast the club out to the side, and we're going to bring them around to the front of our body, and we want our wrists to cross right here, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to turn the clubs out so they're parallel to the ground. We're going to bring our forearms and elbows together. Then our elbows are going to pry up in the air like this, and the higher up we push them, the more the club is going to point downward, which is what we want, because we want it to trace around the back of our scapula like that. So we come up like this with our elbows, drop the clubs down, pull your elbows back as far as you can, and then lift the clubs straight up in the air and then go right back out like this. So when we do this pattern, we're doing 3 different grips. So when the club is in front of your body, you're in a hammer grip right here, as if you have a hammer in your hand. When the club is behind your body doing what's called a circle 2, the pressure then gets moved to your index finger and thumb right here, which is called the ring grip. Then we press down with our ring finger right here, right above the pommel, to cast the club out into what's called the saber grip. So a saber was like a sword they used to use years ago in the British military. So it's like a stabbing motion like that. So when we cast it up and out, we press down with our ring finger to cast it out to here. Now I know you were extending your index finger out like this, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but the problem is some people have a tendency to swing the club around like this and keep their finger extended, which can hyperextend your finger, and you don't want that to happen. And the same thing goes with the thumb. If your thumb is extended on the club like this and you bring it around, and it doesn't allow the club to turn outward properly. And if you tuck your thumb in by your index finger, see what just happened? So if your thumb is here, it's going to be too abrasive. Then if your thumb is here, your club is going to be out like this. And try to maintain a 90-degree bend between your wrist and the club right here as well. And when you're coming around the front of your body, try to keep your wrists in that X position and then your fists under your chin when you first start your circle. Then bring your elbows up, turn your clubs out and down, cast them up and out. So a full heart shape will look like this. We'll start in the Y position. Come out, cross your wrists, elbows together, draw the circles. Cast up and out. Cross your wrists, up and out. Cross, elbows make the circle, elbows make the circle, up and out. Just like that. Now another thing is, be careful not to deflect your clubs. So deflecting occurs when your clubs are facing backwards like this into the sagittal plane, which goes this way. So we don't want that to happen. So I'll go a side view for you. When we're swinging the clubs, right here in the frontal plane, and then right there, we go right back to the frontal plane again. We cast up and out. So we don't want this to happen. See? And we don't want to pry our elbows out too soon and pop our clubs backwards. We want to keep the elbows together, bring them up, cast up nice and high, and go nice and smooth. We don't need to go 100 miles an hour. We want to go nice and smooth, slow, and controlled. And another cue that I give people is when you're making your heart shape pattern, especially when you're coming across the front of your body, focus your fists beneath your chin right here. That'll allow your wrists to cross and your elbows to have plenty of room to draw big circles right here. And if you put your focus on your elbows and nothing else, the club will do what it needs to do. Because right now I'm focusing on my elbows, and you'll see that the barrel of the club is just dropping right behind my shoulder blade nicely. And that's exactly what you want to do. And one more thing, every time you come around the front of your body, you want to alternate your front arm. So right now my right arm is in front, now my left arm is in front. Now my right arm is in front, and now my left arm is in front. Right, and left. See that? Okay, so there you have it. Those are the techniques for outward heart shapes. Give it a practice, give it a go, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll chat with you soon.